Welcome to another. Y'all read the title. I really don't even feel like doing it. I attempted to have enthusiasm, but this PD Logic in general, and especially this one, just kind of kills me trying to have a enthusiastic and happy attitude towards this type of stuff. This is a real track, and this is for FIA events, which is a real sanctioning body. PD decided to put impenetrable barriers on said real track for the events that are tied with a real sanctioning body. You know how tracks are trying to go to safer barriers nowadays? And usually those barriers are put way off the track limits. So if somebody does on the rare occasion mess up and end up hitting that, it's no big deal. They're fine after it. Well, if a car were to wreck into these in real life, granted they couldn't exist because you're quite literally impenetrable, let's just say they could, it would probably hurt quite a bit at the very least. And it would happen a whole heck of a heap because they're right on a cotton picking track. Yes, I get the point of these. It's to make the barriers more known and to know exactly how much you can go off the track before bad things start happening. I get that. And this is a decent track to use a system like that because you can run a line like this. And that's bad, I get that. But the way in which they go about doing this is about the worst way that I could think of. Granted, there may be a portion of this that I'm not seeing yet because I have time to record this before the actual races in which these first get implemented are going. And I probably won't even upload this if I watch someone's YouTube feed and it goes well. But if y'all are seeing this, that means that they failed. Whatever way it may be, but here's my prediction of how these will fail, and it's a pretty obvious prediction. Other than it's just straight up unrealistic, which that in of itself is orthopedic logic, they're also going to be used to advocate dirty driving. As I said before, it seems like PD's almost advocating dirty driving in some of the stuff they do, aka the penalty system, and this just further goes to show that. Granted, I still believe they're not doing this on purpose, it's just that they don't care that this is happening. Because they know the stuff that's actually going to be seen on like the main videos and stuff, people aren't going to be doing this, but that's only going to be the top 0.1%. Most other people are having this stuff happen to them. Okay, they're either going to get advertently hit into a barrier by a dirty driver, or you are the dirty driver, whatever, y'all get what I mean. There's going to be dirty driving involving people getting hit into barriers, or it's going to be straight up inadvertent. You go slightly wide, you clip a barrier, and if a car is behind you, it's going to screw you both up. And knowing how PD is too, if you just barely even nudge a barrier, especially those, it's going to be a penalty. AKA, it's insult to injury, and now it's going to affect multiple cars. Why couldn't they just do like a straight up invisible wall and then have those there to represent that there is a visible wall there? Meaning not having gaps in between these. So at least then if somebody inadvertently clips it, you don't lose that much speed. But you still lose enough speed where it hurts your lap. And then the main thing of you can't really get hit into it hard enough to lose all of your speed. Granted, there could still be used plenty for dirty driving. You just slam people into the visible wall, but a slam equals you lose X amount of speed, some percentage of speed. If you get hit into these the way they are now, you lose all of your speed because they're impenetrable. You're losing some speed is a better option than losing all speed. And then, if it ends up getting exploited where people wall ride on the visible walls, that's where you just improve the penalty system. You should have already improved the penalty system to begin with, PD. That poll's still on GG Planet. It's on the majority of people want it to be improved. The vast majority even. This would be a great time to do it. But no. They put barriers there that are definitely going to be more harm than good. Again, the races haven't happened yet. So maybe there's some type of system there that I'm not seeing. But even so, It's speedy logic in and of itself that this is just straight up unrealistic. This is the exact opposite of what the FIA would want events that it sponsors doing, because it's just straight up unrealistic. It would hurt drivers physically and mentally. Physically, because you just hit an impenetrable thing, and mentally, because you know that there's a chance of getting severe injury more than there was before. And as I said, it's going to get exploited. So, this doesn't really help anyone involved. This is, I guess, slightly also FIA logic too, because I assume, because this is only implemented in the FIA events, that PD would have had to have said something to the FIA people about doing this. And they also allowed it. Maybe they just didn't really care, because they're just going to test it out for a little bit, and maybe this is going to go away. I hope that's what's going on. But either way, whoever's fault it may be is a pretty big fault. I'll go ahead and put this in motion, even though I bet y'all can already guess what's happening. It does its job in the sense of it creates a way to make the barriers obvious, which is a good thing for practice and qualifying. Right, in FIA qualifying now, it's everyone's on a track at once, but general consensus is you don't really want to be racing each other anyway, so no big deal. And then in practice, yeah, this is actually a decent idea. I still think the invisible wall plus penalty system would be better, but this works, I guess. It does its job, not the best, but it kind of works. I mean, as y'all can see there, you ain't exactly getting away with any more cut than that. Which in a way is kind of iffy too for certain turns, because I still think that's not all that even close to having more than two tires off the track. That could still be about 6 inches off in that section. I mean, different cars are different widths, whatever. That's not the major issue with this. It's still, that is yet another issue, the placement of them. But anyway, the main issue is, I'll just have it in motion here. Either A, you might inadvertently clip this, because it's pretty easy to. And then if someone or more cars than that are behind you, they're going to get messed up too. Or B, let's say you actually do make it through that turn, but you have to do it a bit iffy to avoid that barrier, so therefore another car has more momentum. They can just push you into these, and then that also ruins your race as well. There's two ways this could go wrong in about 2 seconds. This is fine for practice. And again, I ain't even going to upload this if this is only a practice thing, but all the predictions say this is also going to be in a race as well. If y'all are watching this, that means it is. So, I hope this is a limited time only thing, because this had to, in theory, go through 2 different companies to get this even in. And me, a casual fan, and a whole heck of a heap of other people already see its flaws even before they're put in the testing. I know I've kind of rambled on about the same thing for however long this is, and I've done that for a lot of PD logics. But this shouldn't even be needed. This can really be summed up in a sentence. The sentence can be said different ways, but the general consensus of a sentence would be, this is unrealistic in the literal way of this wouldn't be put on a racetrack, and it's going to be exploited because people are going to use these to race dirty. There, one sentence summed this up, but yet this is worth a whole video because PD is going to use this for a whole entire race at the very least. Not to mention, this is the top 24 Superstars Day. Again, I really don't think the people in those races are going to be using them to be dirty, but then again, no one's perfect even at the very best level, so people are going to inadvertently hit them. That's really all I have to say about that, obviously. There's not that much to actually say about this. It's obviously wrong, but yet it still happened. This just goes to show that PD just can't get the penalty system right, and this is them admitting it, pretty much. If they could, in theory, that would be how they would implement it, because that's how road racing works. Penalties are given to people who race dirty and or cut the track. Not, their car just immediately stops. That's not what happens. But yet they can't get the penalty system right, so they do this stuff that's even worse, iffy. Penalty system's downright game-breaking at times, but this can be game-breaking depending on the time as well. What's worse? Well, yet to tell you, but they're both pretty cotton-picking bad. That's all, folks, that's all. This is no way, shape, form, or y'all like all the PD logics, but this one is just... This really shouldn't have happened. A lot of the PD logics are stuff that were of the games released, and some of which haven't been fixed yet. This was a cotton-picking edition. Why? I'm not even going to attempt to figure that one out, but nonetheless, it's there. Hopefully it's out soon, folks. Hopefully it's out soon. I bet it won't be, though.